Are you worried about keeping your Medicaid coverage? Stay tuned as we walk you through renewing your Medicaid online in Florida. It's easier than you think. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're breaking down exactly what you need to know to successfully and painlessly navigate the Florida Medicaid renewal process. Let's get right into it. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover an introduction to renewals, how to prepare your documents, accessing the system, the actual step-by-step renewal process, troubleshooting common issues, and finally, what to expect after you hit submit. All right, Part 1, Introduction to Medicaid Renewals in Florida. So, as you probably know, the continuous coverage we saw over the last few years is ended. That means we're back to routine Medicaid redetermination. Basically, this is Florida's mandatory 12-month review of your income and household size. Now, the state does try to automate this using a system called FLMIS, but if they can't automatically verify your info, you've got to do a manual renewal. And listen, this is absolutely crucial. If you ignore those renewal notices, it leads to a procedural termination. That literally means you lose your coverage just because the paperwork wasn't done. We definitely want to avoid that. Which brings us to Part 2, Preparing for your renewal. Preparation is totally half the battle here. Before you even open a web browser, you want to grab what you need. Think of it in 4 buckets. First, identity, like a passport or a state ID. Second, residency. Prove you live in Florida with a lease or a utility bill. Third, earned income. Grab your recent pay stubs or tax returns. And fourth, unearned income. Stuff like Social Security award letters or pension statements. Having all this sitting on your desk, ready to go, is a huge time saver. Now, you also really need to know the difference between your income and your liquid assets, especially because it depends on your specific Medicaid program. Standard family-related Medicaid, that mostly just looks at your income. But if you're dealing with institutional or nursing home Medicaid, the asset limits are incredibly strict. We're talking a $2,000 individual liquid asset limit. So you'll need statements for checking and savings accounts, retirement funds like a 401k, and even vehicle titles. They do a thorough review, including a strict 5-year look-back period, so you'll want to be ready for that. All right, Part 3, Accessing the Florida Medicaid Online System. Okay, your paperwork is organized. Now you need to get to the right place online. You want to make sure you're on the official Access Florida portal login screen. It's managed by the Department of Children and Families, or DCF. Just double-check that you're on the legitimate state website so your information stays completely secure. Getting in is pretty straightforward. First, head over to myaccess.myfloridafamilies.com. If you don't have an account yet, you'll need to create one using a valid email. If you do, just log in. The most important part here is step 3, linking your existing paper case to this new digital dashboard. You'll do that using your Social Security number or the case number printed on your DCF mail, along with your date of birth. Moving right along to Part 4, the step-by-step renewal process. So you're logged in. Before you even think about clicking Renew, you need to check your contact info. This is probably the single most critical step in the whole process. Go to Report My Changes and make sure your address and phone number are totally up to date. Why? Because if the state mails your 45-day renewal notice to an old apartment, you won't even know it's time to renew, and you could lose your coverage without realizing it. Once your address is good to go, look for the Renew My Benefits link. Click on Medical Assistance and just let the system's wizard guide you. It'll ask you to confirm your household demographics, your current income, and your assets. Take your time and review everything carefully. A pro tip here, try to submit this on or before the 15th of your renewal month. If you wait until the very last day, it might cause a gap in your coverage because the system really needs time to process everything. Now, here is a massive pitfall you want to avoid. Hitting submit at the end of that wizard, that is not the end of the process. Remember those documents we gathered earlier? You actually have to upload those proofs of income and residency straight into the portal. The state needs the actual paperwork to verify the numbers you just typed in. If you skip this, your case will stall out, and honestly, it'll likely lead to a denial. Okay, Part 5, Troubleshooting Common Issues. Look, we all know dealing with government websites can be tricky, right? It's super common to sit down, totally prepared, only to realize you forgot your user ID, the password just won't work, or you get hit with a random error screen. It is incredibly frustrating, especially when your health coverage is literally on the line. But don't panic,
You've got options. First, just use the forgot user ID or password links. You'll just need your case number to reset things. But here's a real game changer. If you absolutely cannot log in and your deadline to upload documents is right now, use the anonymous document upload tool right on the My Access homepage. You can bypass the login entirely just by typing your name, date of birth, and case number. It routes the files directly to your caseworker. And if you just need to talk to a real human, call the DCF Customer Call Center at 1-850-300-4323 or head to a local DCF community partner for free in-person help.
Finally, Part 6. After submission, what to expect. Once you've submitted everything, managing the waiting game is key. The magic number to remember here is 45. Florida DCF typically makes an eligibility decision within 45 days of receiving all your requested information. During that time, they're running checks against state and federal databases. While you're waiting, keep a close eye on your portal dashboard. It usually takes about 3 business days for uploaded documents to show up as received. Watch your physical mail and your email for anything marked pending. That usually just means they need one extra piece of info from you. And whatever you do not panic if you get a denial letter. A lot of times, a denial just means a single document was missing, and you can usually correct it if you act fast. Plus, if you really think the state made a math error, you have a legal right to request a fair hearing to appeal the whole thing. Before we wrap this up, I do need to give a quick disclaimer. This explainer is strictly an informational guide, not legal or financial advice. Medicaid eligibility laws, those strict asset limits, and even the portal itself can and do change over time. So always make sure to verify the latest rules and deadlines directly with the official Florida Department of Children and Families or a qualified legal professional. So, I'll leave you with this. Are you fully prepared with your documents to secure your health coverage for the next 12 months? Don't let that deadline sneak up on you. Gather your paperwork, log into your My Access dashboard today, and get that contact info updated. Thank you so much for hanging out and learning how to conquer this process with me. You've totally got this.